Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live again. I'm happy to be here with you guys. You guys are going to get me live twice today. Once to do this Premier League preview, and then in about 2 hours, we're going to do our Manchester United preview. And I'm hoping to be able to get a Cardiff City fan on. Going to see if I can't make that happen. But we have to wait and see. Guys, I'm joined today by my friend, Doug. Doug, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Looking forward to finishing up on Sunday, and then obviously I'm off for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So yeah, bit of a stressful day, but I'm glad it's over, and I'm glad to do this preview with yourself. I can't imagine how you are feeling right now.
Oh, dude, you already know. I'm so excited to be able to just see what Ole's going to be able to do with Manchester United, just to see where he's going to go and what he's going to be able to do with the team, But we've got a big week of Premier League games coming up. We've got 3 this week. So we're going to try and do a Premier League preview for every single one of games this week. So we'll see if we can make it happen. But real quick, just wanted to shout out and say hi to Noel, AFAF, of course, Matthew, and Mr. Exclusive. I already knew you guys were here. What's up? How you doing? Anvesh, good to see you in here. Jack Coleman, Chloe, good to see you in here. Ryan, good to see you. Dan Jones, guys, it's awesome to see you. It really is. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into these games. We've obviously got a game in just about an hour. Liverpool against Wolves. With Wolves, I'm pretty sure Wolves are at home in this one, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're playing at Molineux, yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought. So, Wolves, Liverpool. Doug, how do you see it going? This is obviously your team. So if you want to go a bit more in detail, you're more than welcome to. But how do you see it going?
This is going to be a very, very tricky game. Wolves have only lost to Tottenham out of the top 6 teams. They've beaten Chelsea. They drew with Arsenal. They drew with Manchester United. They've drawn with City. I think the only team that they've not beaten in the top 6 is obviously Tottenham. And I think Everton got a 2-2 draw at Molineux earlier in the season. So it'll be a very, very tricky game. Having said that, I think if Liverpool have an incentive to be top at Christmas. Now, I can't remember the last time we've done that. So I'm fairly confident we can get the win. But like I say, I don't think it'll be easy. But I'm going to go for a 2-0 to Liverpool.
Okay, so so Matthew was asking if you actually have seen the lineup that came out.
No, I actually haven't.
So I've got it for you here. Matthew just put it in chat. So it's Allison, Fabinho, Virgil, Lovren, Robertson, Milner, Henderson, Keita, Mane, Salah, Firmino. So honestly, there's not a lot of surprises in there.
Ooh, Shaqiri doesn't start. That's a wee bit disappointing. I suppose you kind of want to sort of get the team away from obviously from burnout, but yeah, a bit surprised Keita's still in there. Actually, I thought Shaqiri might have come in, and Fabinho at right back. That's interesting. Obviously Milner comes back in, but obviously Milner and Fabinho will probably switch as well. So. It's a pretty good team. The only question mark is Jordan Henderson.
Yeah,
I would have probably held him in there.
So and actually even more interesting now that I'm thinking about this, I think that this shows the level of respect that Jurgen Klopp has for Wolves and what they're doing against the top 6. Like getting to see that lineup specifically, that's a really strong lineup. That's basically what you would expect, for going up against anybody in the top 6. And, I do agree with you. I am a little surprised that Shaqiri isn't starting just because he did do so well against Manchester United, but maybe he's just going to be your guys' super sub this year.
Maybe.
So, but guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make the prediction because of how well Wolves have done against the top 6 this year. I'm going with a 1-1 draw to Liverpool. It's just because, now listen, if this was any other time, like honestly, I would probably predict a win for Liverpool, but it's because Wolves have done so well against everyone in the top six. I'm predicting that 1-1. So
And actually, Wolves have only lost once on a Friday night, and that was 2-1 to Cardiff.
That's even more interesting. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, like I could be wrong, but it's just because Wolves have done so well against the top six. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be predicting that. But they have only lost once to anybody in the top six. So I think that they could produce a good counterattack against Liverpool, and especially because I think that they will take on a lot of Liverpool's pressure, but they also do know how to transition from defense to attack very quickly. So we'll see what happens. Go ahead, Doug. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very, very interesting game. I think Ruben Neves is back for Wolves tonight as well.
Let me see. Matthew put the Wolves lineup in there. Yep, Ruben Neves is back.
Connection lost.
So,
there we go.
I would say you're still here with me, just so you know. But so yeah, we've got which, by the way, Amvesh, I appreciate that. I start my new job January 7th, so I might not be able to be live with you guys as much as I have been because of the new job. We'll see how it'll work out. But as of right now, I don't know what the schedule is going to look like for this new job. So until I know more, I won't be able to know how often I'll be live. So I just wanted to get you guys, kind of prepared for if I'm not going to be able to be live. There we go. The not bearded forehead. I like that, Matthew. We'll do Matthew live cams. It'll be amazing. Overtaking PewDiePie. Yes. But oh wow, so Adama Traore actually is starting in this one too. So that is very interesting. But let's go ahead and let's move on to Arsenal against Burnley, which is which is the first game on Saturday. So I mean, Doug, how you got it shaken out, man?
This is a huge game for Arsenal, considering they've lost back-to-back games. I think for the first time under they lost back-to-back games at the start of the season. Obviously, that was Manchester City and Chelsea, but yeah, losing to sort of Southampton and then Tottenham in the Carabao Cup. This is a huge game. Burnley will not make it easy for them. If you remember, Burnley only just lost to Tottenham, and that was a 90th minute Christian Eriksen winner. I think it may go the same way, and I think Burnley will sneak a goal against Arsenal, but I think Arsenal will just scrape a 2-1 win. So I'm going Arsenal 2, Burnley 1.
Okay. Honestly, I like that because I'm going with a 2-0 for Arsenal. I think they're going to come out very well drilled and well trained because they have lost 2 in a row, and with their last Premier League loss coming against Southampton, I honestly look at that and look at the way that they lost that match, and they're going to be trying to do everything they can to not only hold the clean sheet, but really go at them. And I think that this could be bigger than 2-0. And just Burnley, I mean, as we all know, Burnley have been struggling this year. So I think that I actually think Doug could be right. I think we could see Burnley sneak a goal. But I do think that Arsenal will win this match, and I think that they will win it pretty handily, personally. So we'll go ahead. We'll just move on because next up, we've got Bournemouth at Brighton. And I know Doug actually had a pretty good stat for me in this one. So, Doug, Bournemouth and Brighton, how you got it shaken out, man?
Bournemouth home win. Bournemouth are unbeaten in the last 9 games against Brighton. Either in the Premier League, obviously Championship, or obviously League One. It's 5 wins and 4 draws. The last game, I think, was a 1-1 draw between Brighton and Bournemouth at the Amex, but obviously Bournemouth beat Brighton 2-1 in the reverse fixture. So, yeah, Bournemouth, they're on a really sticky run at the moment, and I think they just need that win. Brighton, they're to their credit, they're giving teams real good games. That they were very unlucky against Chelsea. Could have easily snatched a point, but I think home advantage will be key, and I think Callum Wilson is meant to be back. So I think having Callum Wilson back is really, really key for Bournemouth. So I am going to go for a 2-0 win for Bournemouth. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 0.
So I'm trying to look this up because if I remember correctly, I think that right now Bournemouth have lost 6 out of their last 7, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So that's an interesting one. Now they have played the top 6 a lot inside of that, losing 6 out of 7. So it's kind of one of those things where it's a little understandable if you're losing to the top 6. I mean, and Bournemouth obviously aren't ready to take that next step up and kind of start getting into European competitions if they're not able to beat some of these teams in the top 6. But, I mean, that was a fantastic stat, Doug, that they haven't lost to them in the last 9 Premier League fixtures. And I actually really think that Bournemouth will get back on track in this match. I think that they're going to win it 3-1. And I honestly think that we'll get back to seeing Bournemouth playing the way that they should be. And honestly, I kind of hope that they do. I hope that they do. I like seeing a lower side like Bournemouth being good and being able to, honestly succeed against top 6 teams.
Yeah, Eddie Howe's an absolute genius. The job he's done for Bournemouth is nothing but sensational. Considering where Bournemouth were, sort of 9 years ago, they were on the brink of going into the National League, and basically what he has done to Bournemouth to get them up is nothing but superb. So he deserves every credit that they get.
Yeah. I mean, and I agree. So actually, we do have an interesting question here. So because there is so many rumors about Pochettino coming to Manchester United, and it is kind of starting to seem likely. So Doug, you know how happy I am about that. But the question is Eddie Howe the perfect replacement for Pochettino at Tottenham if Pochettino comes to Manchester United?
Absolutely. Yeah, I would agree with that. That is a very good point. I think Bournemouth need to be wary now. I think obviously if Eddie Howe keeps doing a really good job for Bournemouth, then it'd be very interesting.
Yeah, no, and honestly, when I heard that, I was like, that actually does make a lot of sense. If we're taking Pochettino, Eddie Howe gets a chance to go manage a top 6 side, a side that does have a very good squad now because of what Pochettino has built, and Eddie Howe will be able to put his own little spin on it. Plus, he'll get a bigger budget than he had at Bournemouth already, guaranteed. Not that Bournemouth even had a budget, not that even Tottenham have a budget, let's be real. But, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what will happen in these coming days, in these coming months, with all the rumors and speculation of Pochettino leaving Tottenham to come to Manchester United. So I think that would be a very interesting and very good shout for him to go and manage a top 6 side. But we'll go ahead and we'll move on from Eddie Howe. And let's move on to Chelsea against Leicester. And Doug, I think this could actually be a very fun match. How do you see it shaking out?
Leicester are in sticky form at the moment. They lost last time out against Crystal Palace 1-0. There seems to be a lot of disciplinary problems with Jamie Vardy at the moment. Left out of the squad against Manchester City due to actually it was for tactical reasons. So I don't know. Chelsea usually do beat Leicester at Stamford Bridge. I don't see anything other than a Chelsea win. I think I'm going to go for another 2-0. Chelsea 2, Leicester 0 for me.
Okay. And I'm going with a 2-1 for Chelsea. I do think that Chelsea will win it. I think Leicester will score a goal. I think they will nick that goal. Jack asked, there's rumors that Vardy wants a big move, which I did see a quote from him today saying that he isn't necessarily happy with the way that things are going under the new manager at Leicester, and he he said that he still wants to go out there and fight for his place and go learn, which that's exactly what you want to hear from somebody. So it would be interesting to see Jamie Vardy go to somebody inside the top 6, don't you think?
I think, yeah. I think there was a very crazy rumor actually last summer that Atletico Madrid wanted Jamie Vardy.
I mean, that'd be a great move for him. Get to go somewhere else in Europe. Get to, potentially prove yourself more. I mean, he is at that age now where I think that there's the potential for him to be getting more into a super sub role. But but that's just because he's over 30 now. And once you kind of hit that over 30 range, yes, he still does have all that pace and everything that you look for in, a striker. But at the same time, he's got more that he's got to do some more things if he wants to still kind of stay at a top level. So I think that him going to a big club and potentially just being a super sub could make sense for him.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah.
Many inside sources are saying, I'm sorry, somebody's talking about Zidane possibly. But honestly, I actually think about it this way: because we were talking about it off stream, if Lukaku doesn't manage to kind of regain his form, which we're all hoping that he does, if he doesn't manage to regain his form, and we do wind up selling him in the summer, I would like to see somebody like Jamie Vardy brought in to be a super sub. Let Marcus Rashford be the leader of the line, but let Jamie Vardy kind of be the guy to back up Rashford in that role. So that's just me, because they do have a relatively similar style. I get the whole thought of, you want to have kind of a different style of striker to come and be the backup. But at the same time, I mean, if you've got one style, bring in a relatively similar guy so that way it doesn't change from player to player. I could see both sides to it. So, yeah, and by the way, Anvesh said it best. All the well wishes to Romelu Lukaku and his family. I'm not sure if you guys heard or not, but Romelu Lukaku's father apparently has passed away. So all the well wishes to him. And honestly, Rom, I hope he can come back better than ever. And I know how hard it is to lose a family member. So I hope that you're okay, man. I really do. I hope that you're okay. But so let's go ahead and move on, Doug. We've got Huddersfield and Southampton up next. How do you see this match going, man? Because this is honestly a match of two lesser teams, and it really could go either way.
It's a huge game at the bottom end of the table. I think you could call this a 6-pointer. Southampton, they will be overjoyed with the victory over Arsenal, where they were absolutely superb. Huddersfield, they lost last time out, but the thing is about Huddersfield, they don't have a natural goal scorer.
No, they don't.
They are struggling to score goals at the moment. I'm actually going to go for an away win. I'm going to go for Huddersfield 0, Southampton 1. I think Southampton may make it 2 wins in 2.
Well, and their manager that just came in, I don't know his name, so I'm not going to try and even pretend to pronounce it. So I think that he's brought a renewed energy, and you could see how excited the team was. And it was actually very interesting to see Southampton score 3 headers last week against Arsenal. That was very, very interesting, all things considering. So I think that Southampton are going to win this game as well. I've got Southampton winning 2-1. I think that Southampton is playing with that whole, new Hassan Hutel. Hassan Hutel.
Hassan Hutel.
That's a hell of a name. It's a hell of a name. It's not Southwick like mine, but I mean, it's a hell of a name. Let's be real. But sorry guys, I gotta have some fun with that one. But Southampton really do look like they might have a renewed energy under this new manager. So I'm going to be interested to see how they finish out the season and if maybe they'll be able to stay up, because at the moment they look like one of the teams that was likely to go down. I mean, Doug, do you agree with that?
I agree. Yeah, if Mark Hughes was still at the club, then they were going nowhere under Mark Hughes. So I think Southampton, yeah, they will be overjoyed with the win over Arsenal. But yet, like you say, they did look like a team that were really struggling and did not look like going anywhere. So tomorrow's an interesting game with Huddersfield. If they win that one, then I think they play West Ham on Boxing Day. And big St Mary's crowd expected there. Should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be a very interesting game. I honestly like you said, this is a match against the two lower sides. Both teams need to win, so it could be very interesting to see how this match will go tomorrow. But I think that the manager for Southampton, Hassan Hutil, will come out and just bring the team forward and let them kind of play the way that that a team should be playing in the modern game. And let's see how they do, because it could be a very, very interesting match tomorrow. So we'll move on to a match that, honestly, I don't even think we really need to talk about much. Manchester City against Crystal Palace. I mean, Doug, I feel bad for Crystal Palace at the moment going up against City. So let's just see what you got.
One-way traffic, I'm afraid. Manchester City, Crystal Palace always seem to get beaten really, really heavily there. So, sorry, Palace fans. Man City 5, Palace 0.
I'm not going much further off from you. I'm going 4-0 for Manchester City. Honestly, this match doesn't look like it's going to be very fun for Crystal Palace fans. And Manchester City have basically, against everybody that's a bottom 6 side, they've gone out and just absolutely destroyed them. So I think that we're going to see the same thing happen again. Manchester City 4, Crystal Palace 0 for me. For Doug, it's 5-0. So Jack's got 72-0. So, I mean, I could see it happening. I mean, I'm obviously just kidding. But, I think that this match is basically there's no way that Crystal Palace can pull anything off. So we'll go ahead. We'll move on to Newcastle against Fulham. And honestly, I mean, Doug, I've been surprised that Fulham haven't been getting better under Claudio Ranieri, at least not very much better. I understand that it takes time for a manager to implement their system, but I would have thought that by now they would have at least been looking better than they are. What do you think's the deal, and how do you think this match is going to shake out?
Well, funny you say that. Newcastle actually have a better away record than home this season. Their last win was against Bournemouth, 2-1 at St James's Park. Fulham are just going absolutely nowhere at the moment. They just seem to be picking up points sort of at home rather than away. But like you say, yeah, defensive problems. I think they're the only top flight club to not have a clean sheet this season. So that in itself is really, really worrying. For this game, Newcastle, they'll be overjoyed with the win against Huddersfield. I think Newcastle will probably sneak this one. I think Fulham will get a goal. I can see Mitrovic scoring on his return to St James's, but I think Newcastle will be too strong. I think maybe Rondon may get a couple against Fulham. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Newcastle. 2-1 the Toon Army.
So, I mean, I've just been confused because, I mean, Jack brought up a good point. Fulham did spend the second most in the Premier League behind Liverpool this offseason. So it's really confusing how they are this bad. They do have really good young talent in Ryan and Steven Sessegnon. I mean, it is a bit surprising that they are struggling as hard as they are. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Fulham will progress under Claudio Ranieri if they do. But, I mean, maybe Fulham aren't as good as we thought that they were. And I'm personally, because of, I did know that Newcastle has been struggling at home this year, Doug. So I'm personally going to go with a 1-1. I think that 1-1 because of the struggles that Newcastle have been having. And at some point, I've got to believe that under Claudio Ranieri, because I actually do think that Claudio Ranieri is a pretty decent manager. I think that he's a manager that can get your side around the top 6, typically. I think that it's only a matter of time before that team starts performing for him. So I'm going 1-1. Maybe this will be the game that will start the team going for him. So, and by the way, I do agree, Jack. Jean-Michel Seri is a very, very good ball player, very good football player. I love his pace and his energy. And, I mean, we talked about it in our match against them, that he actually has like the most passes in the team by a lot. It's by like over 300. So just shows what a difference he makes.
It's quite stunning that he managed to end up at Fulham, considering the teams that were after him. Juventus were after him, United were after him, Liverpool were after him, Chelsea were after him. He chose Fulham.
I mean, maybe it's because he knew that he was going to get guaranteed game time at Fulham. Maybe he wanted to kind of like come in and have a chance to prove himself. I don't know. But I agree with you, because literally I think almost every single top 6 club was linked to him. Like, so it is very, very confusing that of all the sides that he went to Fulham. So who knows? Maybe he actually saw something in the club too. So, I mean, we'll see. We will see. So we'll go ahead. We'll move on to West Ham against Watford, which I actually personally think will probably be one of the matches of the week. Doug, how do you see this shaking out, man?
West Ham have been in fantastic form, really, really good form. Watford, this will be a feisty game. I actually think, like you, it is going to be one of the games of the weekend. I think we'll see goals. I think there'll be 5 goals in this game. I'm going West Ham 3, Watford 2.
Ooh, so I've got Watford 3, West Ham 2. So that's it. I like that. But I honestly agree. I think this is going to be a goal fest. I think this could be a very fun one to watch. Obviously, Watford are playing really good football this year. Really, really good football. And West Ham have been coming on recently, and they've been starting to play really, really well. So I think it will be very interesting to see how this match will wind up. By the way, Mad Marcus, good to see you, sir. Eagle one. But honestly, like Doug, we've both kind of talked about Watford at times this year, and Watford looked like a really, really good side, and they don't necessarily have any, if you want to throw the quotes around it, big name players.
Yeah, they started really well, but they've kind of gone off the boil a little bit, but seem to be getting themselves slowly. Some of the goals they scored against Cardiff last week were absolutely superb. And it's, Watford are getting back. But the thing is, they've got some really good players. Roberto Pereira, Troy Deeney. I think everyone obviously speaks about Deeney. They've obviously got Quina, who will be going back to West Ham. So it'll be interesting to see if he starts. So, you know what? This will be a very, very, very good game. Javi Gracia is a really good manager for Watford. I expect goals, definitely. And obviously Felipe Anderson is another one for West Ham, who he has really hit the ground running at West Ham. And another player that seemed to be on his way out of West Ham, but seems to have gone his way back in, is Robert Snodgrass. He seems to be picking up a few goals lately.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising, like you said, because Snodgrass came in and he wasn't the player that we all thought that he was going to be, especially coming from Hull, who he looked like he was the best player in that team by far for Hull. And I thought that when he came to West Ham that he was going to be like just fantastic. And he just didn't really pan out at first. But like you just said, he's starting to come into his own in the side. And I think that, which, by the way, thank you, Anvesh, for the Felipe Anderson thing. But yeah, I agree. I think that it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Felipe Anderson in this offseason, because I think that he might wind up going to a top 6 side. So,
that is no doubt.
So we'll move on to a match that I'm not going to talk about much because obviously I've got another video to do, but we're going to let Doug talk about it a little bit more. Cardiff against Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first match as manager for Manchester United. Doug, how do you see it going, man?
His first game, and it's against his former club, Cardiff. Who would have predicted that? I have to say, it's looking at obviously the TV screens. I've seen Solskjaer's first interview. He looks like he is a man that means business. I think Manchester United players can go out. It can basically Solskjaer can let them off the leash, as they say. I see a comfortable Manchester United victory. I think Cardiff might sneak a goal, but I'm going to go for. I think if you have a lineup with Martial, Rashford, and Lingard, I can see goals in that one. So I'm going for a 3-1 win to Manchester United, and it means that you can be positive again, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that this match is going to be fun. I'm actually going to have fun watching the match, Doug, for the first time in quite a while. Not that I don't love Manchester United. It's just been really hard to watch the matches recently. I'm just being honest. And I personally, I'm not going to give you any more than this because I've got a lot to say about it. I'm going with a 2-1. Let's not have high expectations in our first match for them, but I'm going 2-1. I think that would be pretty fair, don't you?
Yeah, I mean Cardiff are pretty decent at home as well. Pretty tough to break down as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of either Junior Hoilett or Callum Patterson get the goal for Cardiff.
So actually, I really do like this question. It was something that we were going to talk about on the next stream, which I will talk about no matter what. But Anvesh asks, what do you think will be the achievement that would guarantee Ole the permanent manager job? So what do you think Ole needs to do to be able to keep the job permanently, Doug?
Top four for me. I think if he does go far in the Champions League, then I think that would probably do him as well. Maybe even a cup run. An FA Cup or something. I think if you're looking at Manchester United's next sort of 4 fixtures. I mean, you've got Cardiff City tomorrow. You've got Huddersfield Boxing Day. You've got Bournemouth on the 30th, and then you go Newcastle. There's 4 winnable games, and then obviously Reading in the FA Cup. That's 5 winnable games for him. And then obviously the big tests come after that. Obviously Tottenham on, I think it's the 13th of January. So I would say top 4 / FA Cup.
Yeah, so I agree with that. I think that if he was to get to the top 4 and win the FA Cup, and especially if he had a deep Champions League run. Now, I think that the one thing that would guarantee him a job would be if he won the Champions League. You can't get rid of a manager that won a Champions League. You just can't. But I think that he would at least be in the conversation if he got us to top 4, got us deep in the Champions League, and then also got us either to the FA Cup and won it or got us very close to the FA Cup. But I honestly, with the way that he talks about the club, you just see it in his eyes. You see it in his smile. Just he's a man living his dream right now, and it's so awesome to see. It really is. So Jay Hart, by the way, I know you clicked on the thumbnail for Arthur. We'll get Arthur in the stream. I promise. We got one more match to go, but Arthur was the actual presenter today. What you don't know is Arthur and I actually traded places, and this is actually Arthur talking. So just so you know, this isn't actually me. This is Arthur. So blame him if anything happens. But guys, we'll move on to the next match because I want to talk about all these different things a lot more in my next stream. So last match of the week, we've got Everton against Tottenham. So Doug, how do you see it going? Everton do play pretty well against the top 6.
They certainly do. Everton, bit unlucky to lose to Manchester City last week. They did create a lot of chances as well. Very unlucky to lose to Liverpool as well. going back in front of the Goodison Park faithful. They will need to do something that they haven't done in the last 6 games, and that is beat Tottenham. Tottenham have 4 wins and a draw. The last game between the sides was a 4-0 win for Tottenham back at Wembley. And I do think Tottenham actually won the reverse fixture at Goodison as well. But Tottenham, will they be tired? It's interesting. It's interesting because obviously they did beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. They were absolutely terrific. I mean, if you haven't seen Dele Alli's goal, the touch and the finish past Petr Cech was absolutely fantastic. But you could drive a London bus through the Arsenal defence. It was that open.
Yeah.
But this is another game of the weekend for me. It's the only Super Sunday game. It's going to be open. I think there'll be goals again. I'm going for a draw in this one. I think Everton can hold Tottenham to a draw, and I'm going to go for a 2-2. Everton 2, Tottenham 2.
So that's interesting because only reason why I'm predicting a low-scoring game is because typically when I see top 6 sides go against each other, their attack is typically strong. We almost always manage to see a draw. A low-scoring game. I don't know why that is, but I feel like whenever I make a prediction of a high score, it always might manage to be.
Do you know what? I mean, Everton seem to be scoring more at Goodison than they are away. I don't think actually. What? Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back. Sorry, seem to be having a few internet problems. I think Tottenham are one of the only teams not to have drawn this season. I think if I'm right in saying so. This would be another interesting one.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I'm personally just going to go 1-0 for Tottenham. I do think that Pochettino right now is basically in his final audition period for Manchester United. Because let's be real. If he really does want the Manchester United job, Manchester United will pay whatever it takes to get him. We have the money to do it. It's just a matter of if he wants to come here. So it will be very interesting to see how he will finish off the year. And I would actually be interested to see who and if anybody Manchester United will be able to bring from Tottenham if Pochettino was to be the next manager of Manchester United. Could we possibly see Harry Kane come with? Could we possibly see Christian Eriksen come with? Could we see anybody from that squad come with? I think that'd be very interesting to see. Now, personally, I think we should leave the players where they're at. Let them be at Spurs. We should be bringing in our own players because I don't want to deal with Tottenham any more than I have to because Daniel Levy's kind of a prick. So, and especially with Manchester United. So,
yeah.
You want to come say hi to the people? You want to come say hi? Yeah. He's a good boy. Mwah. Thank you. Mwah. But just Harry Kane is somebody that I would basically take no matter what. He's one of the top strikers in the world, if not the top striker in the world. So, I mean, he just plays on another level, and getting to see somebody that is English and is at the top of his game right now in Harry Kane come to Manchester United, that would be absolutely fantastic. So
yeah, I think he does need to leave Tottenham definitely to further his career.
So and it would be interesting to see if Manchester United could pull off a move like that. But Doug, we're all wrapped up here. We're all good. So we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this up. Doug, thank you for joining me, my friend. Is there anything you want to shout out? And thank you. I know. Is there anything that you want to shout out, my friend?
Just to keep following me on Twitter at @nod_1992, and or you've got the Sam Radio Football Show as well to follow as well. We're not back on air until the 9th of January, so I've got a wee break in between. So, but no, just absolute pleasure to be back on with you, and look forward to a lovely weekend of football, and hopefully the Reds beat Wolves tonight to be top at Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what this weekend's gonna bring. And I'm gonna be excited to get to watch so many games in this coming week, because I love this game. I love this league, and I just not that I want to pull the whole Patrice Evra thing, but genuinely, I love this game. I love this game. Just gotta do it. But he, by the way, guys, just so you can see it, Arthur might be making a little bit of an early prediction. But Doug, genuinely, thanks for joining me. Guys, thank you as always for joining me. I love getting to do these with you guys. We have a good time on here. This is just, I'm an American that gets to talk about the Premier League, and I love the fact that so many people actually care about what I have to say. So just genuinely, guys, thank you. I hope to see you guys live back here with us at 9 p.m. UK. We're going to be doing our Manchester United preview. And we're gonna see where this next week's gonna go. Let's see what the Premier League will bring, guys. So God bless you guys. I love you guys. Genuinely, I love you guys. And I hope you have a great night, a great day, wherever you're at, wherever you're doing. Keep doing you, because you guys are awesome. I'll see you guys in a bit.